folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I'm coming at you with Euro Truck Simulator 2. We're just going to continue on today. I know I remember on the list because it would not actually be the most profitable job. We could lights, there we go. We need high beams right now. We took the job below because it was actually far more profitable. Hopefully things run a little bit better frame rate wise as I turn down some of the settings. Turn down the vegetation density from high to low, turn down shadow quality. Shadows are the ones that tend to play a lot of big stuff. It's just really annoying how much more it takes out of my computer to record this than it does to this isn't it. Nice thought, but this isn't it. This is it. But, yeah, it just bugs me because I can play this game on Ultra without... Take the job first. Cute. Well, this is going to be fun to get out of here, isn't it? Backed in right against the house. And there we go. Actually, I think this is good that we start like this, pull it away, and then come around. Yeah, it works. That works. Also, I think this is going to be the first job that we run that we can't complete right away. I think we'll actually have to like rest in between. Yeah, either way. Discover recruitment agency, that's always cool. But, yeah, try one more time. It's just really aggravating how much more recording this takes out of my computer than, I don't know how many gears I'm shifting right now or what's going on, but I just felt like I skipped 100 gears right there. But, anyways. I am a little worried about my computer. Every so often I'll get a rattling noise. I think it's just one of the cooling fans for my radiator. Starting to have a bearing problem, and if that's the case, it's fine. I've got two fans on it. I got a push-pull system, so I can easily just take one off, whichever one's having the trouble. Which I think it's, unfortunately, I think it's the fan behind the radiator, not the fan in front, which is going to make it more aggravating. But whatever. My computer's old now, and I can't afford to replace it. It's got to last me till after I move, and then maybe I can save some money and get a nice, yeah, you can go screw yourself. I think I was in the right there. Although that might have damaged my trailer. Oh yeah, 8%. Actually, I may have been in the wrong. But nothing I can do about it now. I allowed myself to get distracted. And that's what happened. So, I'll just have to suffer the 8% damage. And whatever it costs me. Plus the repair to the truck, because apparently the truck was damaged too. it's fine. But yeah, my computer's got to last me because I really need to start saving in order to move. Which after June, um, provided I'm allowed to stay to pay off the car, and then given a couple months buffer to, finalize everything. I'm basically going to be dedicating all the money I have left over every month towards moving. I'm just going to tuck that money away, pay off credit cards, whatever. Boy, that's a nasty little setup right there. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to start prepping to move, even though I should have been prepping a year ago. If I'm told that I really just can't stay here anymore and I need to start getting ready to go, then I've got issues, and I'm going to want to blame but myself, and it's really going to hurt. But for me though, it's all about the car. If it wasn't for the car, I'd have probably been able to save up money and be gone by now. Really? Where was the camera? Yeah. Just as I hit the speed limit that says 110, although I'm only allowed to go 90. I actually only want to go 105. Really don't want to make this run any more unprofitable than it already is, so I need to chill some. And really start trying to pay attention for speed cameras. I'm good. Early this morning, or this coming morning, because I'm actually recording this the night before, even though it's about 10, 11 o'clock at night. Early in the morning tomorrow, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and niece, or basically everyone else in the house, will be leaving for Oahu for the next 4 days. 3 or 4. They'll either come back Sunday or Monday, I think. They're going for a tournament for my niece. Unbeknownst to me, at the same time, my friend Riddy is also gone to a FurCon. If you don't know what a FurCon is, I really can't take the time to explain it too much, but it's just a big gathering of furries where they have, presentation shows, artists. You can meet Popufurs. Yeah, God, there's a lot to explain. I'm just digging a hole on this one, aren't I? But yeah, it's just like any other con, except it's for furries. And the term Popufur is a fur that's popular. So if somebody's persona that's popular in the furry community, which I'm not going to mention names because you really need to be in the fur community to know. So it's really not up for me to say. Alright, we'll need to slow down up here. Alright, too low, but I'm still going to have to slow down. So, especially this car coming up. I was going to try and use the 2 lanes, but that wasn't panning out to look very good, so nope. Boy, that was a little brutal, if I'm to be 100% honest with you. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to have some time alone in the house anyways, which will be both good and bad. Good in that I will be getting a break, in terms of, well, let me just be fair before I go into that. Nothing that I do here, none of the rules here, I have any problem with. I really don't. I stay in my room all day as it is. Nothing bothers me, but it'll be nice to just have some true alone time where I can be a little bit more noisy at night if I want to. Maybe not overly noisy because, have neighbors, but I can be more noisy. I could watch, I could play games or watch TV with the sound without having to have headphones on, which would be really nice. I also be able to cook if I want in the middle of the night, which will be really nice because my mother-in-law sleeps in the living room, as does my niece. So if you do want something to eat late at night, you have to really limit yourself to something that prepares really quickly and preferably in the microwave. Now, like I said, to be fair, none of that actually bothers me. It doesn't. All of it's absolutely fine. But it'll just be nice to be able to do it for a few days. On the other hand, being alone, just, oh, wow, I didn't realize we were almost out of gas. Good thing there's a gas station right up ahead. I was not paying attention. Let me over. Dude, you're such a jerk. Why is this open anyways? It really shouldn't be. It's good that it was, but it shouldn't be. So, yeah, that's going to be nice. That I'm going to be able to breathe a little bit easier at night. But for the most part, nothing's going to change. So it's not a big deal. I really enjoy being here. I do love my wife's family. I do care about them quite a bit. Regardless of what anyone may think or say, it's all how it is. I mean, when I say I'm giving them the car when it's done being paid for, I mean I'm giving them the car when it's done being paid for. Because I think that's the best option I have. I don't want to sell it and just have somebody random get it. Even if it were to bring me like $5,000, I'd rather it go to the family because I know that would make my wife happy, and I know my mother-in-law could use it. And maybe when my mother-in-law no longer needs it or really can no longer drive, maybe, hopefully, actually, I hope that it's still in good enough shape that my brother-in-law can take it and then he can drive it. That's what I hope. It's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard. Leaving that car behind. It's going to be like I finally pay off a car that I've had for 4 years, or 4.5, 5, whatever, however long it took. I'm finally going to have that car all paid off and all done, and then it's not going to be mine anymore. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be moving back to Massachusetts, where I'll be poor, without a car, trying to start things over again with my mother. It's tough. It's real tough. I worry a lot about, what's going to happen. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I'm a little I mean, if anything, yesterday, not yesterday, day before yesterday, Monday, showed is I'm rusty at this game right now, anyways. But I'm also distracted because of the things I'm talking about. Anyways. That's like my new thing to do now. Anyway. Well, maybe not new, but I'm noticing I'm doing it more often than I used to. Anyways. But I don't know. I just worry. Because, see, if I were to move to Florida with my father, there'd be a lot more benefits there. The drawback would be staying with my father until I could get assistance for rent, and then find a place to live that would take my dogs. That would be the other thing, is my dogs in my dad's house. That might not go over very well. That might not go over very well. The advantages, though, would be being with somebody who can help me, like, get a cheap used car from a dealer, and they're out there. If I can find them here in Hawaii, I can find them on the mainland. My dad's good at knowing cars, so he could help me choose, and then I could just find a decent car, and he could help co-sign it for me, and I'd be all set. On the other hand, I can't let my mother be by herself. I found out just a couple days ago, most likely my mother, I don't trust you. My trailer's damaged enough. My mother had to put down her two male dogs, or at least most likely. One wasn't eating, he wasn't moving very much, he had the dry heaves. It was, his time. He's an old dog. And she decided if she's going to put one down, then she'll put the other down as well, because he's old and he's actually in quite a bit of pain through arthritis in his neck. If you even touch him wrong, he screams, yelps. So she decided she'd put the two of them down. That just leaves her with her two little girls. Well, April is still a puppy, so she'll be around a while, but I don't know about her other one, whose name I forget how old that one is, but I know it's old. I know she's older. So, and then there's just people who constantly take advantage of my mother and my mother's kindness. And my mother's not without her issues. even with medications. She is bipolar. She even may be mildly schizophrenic. She has nobody in her life other than her dogs and the occasional friend that she pulls in, and that friend eventually will abuse the fact that my mother is very kind and trusting a lot. So it doesn't help that my mother's laptop recently just broke. So we can't talk on Skype. I gotta try and call her tomorrow on the phone, see how she's doing. But I think of the future. I think of the future, and it scares me. It really scares me. Immediately move over because we don't trust the guy to our left. And I might have talked about this. I probably did. I don't remember when. It was a while ago, most likely. I'm alone. I'm going to be in my mid-40s by the time I move. I don't have children. And I'm going to be, for a while at least, living at home, taking care of my mother. That doesn't bode well for finding somebody in your life. And, once my mother is gone, I may just pull roots once more, and if I can afford it, and move to Florida, take care of my father. And then when my father's gone, that's it. I got no one else. And it really scares me. My future is so uncertain right now. I've been ignoring it, trying to just enjoy things, but I have to start facing it because a year's not that long. It's already been a year since my wife passed away, or will be. Not far away from it, June 12th next month, and then 6 days after that, it's my birthday. And man, I'm just worried. I'm just worried. What's gonna happen? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? Where am I gonna live? Will there be someone there to care about me when I get older? Will I be alone? One of the most heart-wrenching things I've seen in my life is also one of my most reminders. I was in the hospital having gotten a blood infection. in my leg, and it made me insanely. Oh, okay. It made me insanely sick. I immediately spiked with 104-degree fever or somewhere around there. Something like that. No idea what I'm doing at this point. But yeah, it was something like that. Bella, hush. Bella, stop. Anyways, but yeah, it was. I wasn't in the greatest of shapes, and I ended up being hospitalized. And I was in the hospital for 8 days, and that was really difficult for me. Believe me, I started going stir crazy while I was in there. Anyways, at one point while I was in the hospital, and I think it was I've been hospitalized twice that I can recall. Once there was something wrong with my throat, something was swollen in my throat. I was having a really hard time swallowing, so I was hospitalized for a little while. The other time was my blood infection. And it was in one of these times that they brought in this guy, and I believe he was homeless. If he weighed 100 pounds, 110 pounds, maybe soaking wet, it'd have been amazing. His stomach was bloated. He had severe liver issues because he's alcoholic, and he was dying. And you can imagine how much fun that was to have in my room at the time. You know, here they bring in this guy who's basically been brought in the hospital to pass away, and my wife was there when it happened. And I mean, it was hours from when they brought him in to when it happened. And there was nobody there for him, you know? He was all alone. Yeah, we can. I'm rolling the dice that I can make it. No, actually, I can't, because the next rest spot, by the look of it, isn't until down there. Because both of these are off the highway. So I've got to take this one. I don't want to, but I think it's the best. We'll just park up the lights here. I'll finish my story. Don't worry, I'll finish my story. So, anyways, yeah. My wife was there when all this was going on, and she got up from my bedside and went and sat down next to him, and she took his hand into hers, he was unresponsive at this point, but she just talked to him, soft, kind voice, until he was gone. And I turned to my wife and I said, "What made you go over there like that?" I didn't have anything wrong with it. It was touching, but I was still curious. And she simply said, "Nobody should die alone." And that's my fear. That when my time comes, I'm going to be alone. It may be ridiculous to feel that way, because it's far in the future, hopefully. But time will tell. It's what I worry about. So I didn't mean to bring things down like that. I really didn't. But you know me, when I start talking, I just start rambling. So yeah. Hopefully Friday will be a more chipper tone. We'll see. Until next time, folks, it's going to be one big bug. I'm going to be signing out.